Yes, sir. We are back. And we've got a lot of ground to cover and a lot of lost time to make up for. So we're going to get right into this episode. Obviously, the big day tomorrow, right? The NFL draft. Texans have the number 2 pick and the number 12 pick. What are they going to do with it, right? That's the big talk. What are they going to do with this pick? I'm going to jump into my opinion and what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to trade the pick. They have that 12th pick, so I think that's still going to give them the chance to probably be stupid and drag Will Levis or Anthony Richardson at that pick. Yeah. So that's my take on it. Or they can still maybe get one of the best offensive linemen or D linemen in the draft.
I mean, see, and that's my problem with that, right? You're drafted at number 2. There's no guarantee that you'll be drafting that high, really, again. I don't think the Texans are going to be that bad next year. I think with DeMeco Ryans as the head coach, which we're happy about that hire, by the way. Finally, we did something right. With DeMeco Ryans as the head coach, I think that gives you at least 6 wins, in my opinion. 6 wins is not giving you a top 2 pick, right? And so generally, the 2 teams that are drafting 1 and 2, in general, they're probably looking for a QB. I think it's safe to assume that team would be looking for a quarterback. So why get cute? Why is it always the Texans? Why is it always us that has to get cute or overthink a pick when we have the draft pick to take a quarterback? I mean, it seems like Bryce Young's going to be the guy. I think we've seen enough to take C.J. Stroud. We have 2 first-round picks this year and 2 first-round picks next year. If somehow he stinks it up and he looks like Zach Wilson or something and we have another bad year, take another quarterback the next year, just like the Arizona Cardinals did. But guess what? They only had 1 pick when they did that. So I don't understand this whole thing where I hear fans saying, oh, let's take the best defensive player in Will Anderson. Let's trade back. Oh, we don't love the guy. You can't take a guy you don't love and just keep punting it and punting it. That's what we've done every time we had a top pick. Yeah. Mario Williams. Didn't see a guy we love. Passed up on Vince Young. Then the next time, Jadeveon Clowney. Oh, you got to take the best guy. He has all the measurables. Look what happened there. Let's stop being cute, man. Nick Casario, you tried to be cute last year. You tried to be cute with Derek Stingley. Sauce Gardner was an All-Pro. I mean, come on, man. You know you're on thin ice. We saw how contrite you were looking in that postseason press conference, man. Yeah. Come on, it's not time to be cute. You take a chance on a quarterback. I say it should be C.J. Stroud. And let's move on and let the draft start at the 12th pick.
So I like C.J. Stroud. Well, at least I liked him before a few weeks ago when they came out and said he scored like an 18 on these cognitive tests. and like when I say 18 is bad, GD, like 18 is like
it's in the lows.
It's in the lows, yes.
So
it's been a lot of anti-Stroud propaganda going around too.
Perhaps, but apparently Bryce Young scored in the 98s and C.J. Stroud. So I don't know if I buy the level of quarterback play, because after those 2, there's a huge drop off in everybody else. Yes. There's Will Levis, there's Hendon Hooker, there's Anthony Richardson. So there's a few other guys that other than those top 2, the rest of them are just like you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So what I would do and what I think Texas should do is to be able to. I want a quarterback. Do I love C.J. Stroud? Yes, prior to anything, I think he has all the measurables, like, can great size, can throw the ball with accuracy, can do all the things you want to do. But at the same time, I'm like, does this guy understand how the NFL works in regards to the skillful part of it, using your mind, intelligence part of it? Because now you're going to be running a different type of offense. Right. It's not going to be Ohio State. This is going to be the NFL, and defenses are coming after you. So let's not have the Justin Fields situation.
Yeah. Because most of the Ohio State quarterbacks, they've all been athletic guys.
Yeah.
Just freak athletes, can throw the ball, can run the ball. But there's only barely be one that you can look at and say somewhat successful is Fields.
Right.
Everyone else, bro, have been unsuccessful NFL quarterbacks if they even got drafted.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with Chidi. I think the quarterback should be drafted. I'm tired of the BS where Casario's trying to play mind games with the media and sitting up there and say we should have conversations and it's okay. Like, I don't want to have conversations with anybody.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this issue because Nick Casario, you have no standing to do that. You're not in a position to where you could play these mind games and have these vague answers. Yeah. Bro, you took Derek Stingley over Sauce Gardner. Yeah. That was on your watch, bro.
Yeah, I know
you had to explain that to Cal and Hannah and say, hey, man, what happened there? I know you had to explain that situation to him. Right. So I don't want to hear that, man. Look, C.J. Stroud, right? He went against the top defense in the land, the Georgia Bulldogs. He was hearing all the people talk about him, saying, oh man, he's just an Ohio State quarterback. I doubted him. I was one of those guys that said he was about to get exposed. All of that. He dealt with all that pressure, all that talk for 30 days. He doesn't like to run. He doesn't trust his legs. He'd rather force it. He could easily take it on the read option. He showed everybody he can do all of that. See, with Justin Fields, it was more, he's a run guy. With Stroud, people want him to run more. So he obviously shows that he's a pocket passer.
My question is, literally immediately after the entire the offseason for the college football, and national championship is done, pro days are happening, the combine's happening. The entire time, all we've been hearing is Stroud is number one, like the top quarterback in the entire draft. So my question now is, at one point did Bryce Young decide, okay, this is my point, and what elevated Bryce Young to be the number one overall quarterback now, at least from what a lot of the mock folks are saying, and that scares me. That scares me because I'm like, well, this was supposed to be the number one guy, and we thought Bryce Young was going to fall to us. So the entire time I'm thinking about offense with Bryce Young, what that may look like. So now I'm just having CJ. I mean, I'm concerned about what that looks like.
Well, I mean, if we just keeping it 100% the truth, Bryce Young was always the better quarterback. Yeah. I mean, on paper, like just watch. If you look at the eye test, when it comes to the poise, being able to see things, being able to use the middle of the field to his advantage, he was always the better quarterback. His only issue was size. Let's just keep it real. And not just like his height, but more so like his girth, whether he's able to like withstand, the big hits and stuff like that. So I don't think it was always Bryce Young the better quarterback. So I was actually surprised that people had C.J. Stroud in front of Bryce Young.
I think it was the college season and how it ended and how C.J. Stroud, like you pointed out, made a statement, for himself. Yeah. But after all the raw and all the dust settled, everybody still finally realized, who are we kidding? Yeah. Who are we kidding? Bryce Young is still this guy. He's elusive in the pocket. He's smart. He can sense things that are happening, that are around him, that you don't think, that he think he's aware of. And that's a gift.
It is.
A lot of quarterbacks don't have that gift. They got the arm, the tangibles, but all this other stuff that comes into a quarterback, he has that.
What about the psyche of someone coming in like DeMeco Ryans? I'm talking like this is your first official draft as a head coach. Yeah. And of course, Nick Caserio and the coaches and all of those inputs are gonna be there draft day. But if you were DeMeco going into this particular season, because I'm going to answer that question. If I was DeMeco going into this season as the man, you brought me here for a reason. You got me the contract, the long-term contract that I wanted. I'm going to go in there with full force. I'm letting you know, we need a quarterback. We need to make this happen. I'm the guy now. I'm the face of this entire team. And so if you're going to give me that same respect. You brought me here to do something. Allow me to be able to construct the team how I feel possible. And though he's a defensive guy, I believe he's also smart enough because he's been on teams with bad quarterback play. He understands the idea of, okay, we need a quarterback to win. Yeah. He's been on that. So though he may be a defensive guy, we know that he values that quarterback play.
Exactly. Remember, this guy was on the team where they had Jimmy G. They paid him a lot of money. He went to a Super Bowl, was one missed throw away from winning it. And then he's seen his team trade up and give up 3 first-round picks to go get Trey Lance. On top of that, he also seen what happened when they lost Purdy and Garoppolo and Trey Lance in the same season. Cost him another Super Bowl appearance. So, let's not play games. DeMeco, don't play games, man. Because here's the problem. The problem is, let's say we do pass up on Stroud, right? The Colts end up getting him. Stroud ends up being really good. Right? Heck, let's say we pass up on Stroud or Levis, any of the quarterbacks. One of those quarterbacks end up being really good, and we end up with Will Anderson, and he's really good. People are not going to be like, oh man, at least we got a good defensive end, and he's a pass rusher, and he gets 16 sacks a season. Oh man, they're going to be like, we passed up on a QB of the future, so we can get the best player available. A quarterback that we got to deal with for the next 10 years, 2 times a year. 2 times a year, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let DeMeco, the fan base will turn against you. I'm sorry, will we not? If you're one of those oh, I'm a defensive guy. Let me take defense. Man, get a quarterback, man. You've seen what happened when you don't have one.
Yeah.
Take a quarterback. That's all I'm saying.
Well, draft day is near. We all hope for a quarterback, but it's the Texans organization, so you never know. You never know. You never know, man. So we'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all tuning back in with us.